Hey, what's up, guys? Joshua Danger of Danger Boy Gaming News. Um, so I was watching a video, and here's where I truly think Battlefield's going to succeed, especially if the narrative gets spun to the actual clip that you guys will see in the thumbnail. But I recently watched a video from the Rick where Faze was talking about, well, you know what? This is why Battlefield 6 is going to be better than Black Ops 7. Right now, they're capitalizing on keeping things hot with Battlefield 6. Excuse me, not meaning 7. Um, so, but what I mean when I say that is Battlefield 6 just had possibly the hottest beta come out yesterday. Gone today. Possibly even going to go through tonight. Faze Swag actually made a couple of big points today, from what I saw in the video. He said Call of Duty is just getting out there to the point where they have nothing original. They have nothing but money-making opportunities for themselves. Which, the only way that the Battlefield is going to absolutely suck and going to lose steam is if, let's say, and Faze Swag and the Rick both said this, is if they have carryover options from Warzone, Black Ops, for the skins and whatnot. And that's the only thing that's going to really make a difference. But the real question is, it's all about money with Call of Duty and how much money they can make. Because another perfect example of this is GTA. GTA knows how to do the money making up, knows how to make money. And, you know, they're saying that they're taking a $7 billion loss to gain it back maybe the first month that GTA 6 comes out. And possibly even more so when GTA Online actually starts happening. Which everybody knows that yesterday wasn't really smooth. Like, anybody that had early access already had early access to Battlefield 6. And they had their opportunity to play. But Call of Duty is always going to have cheaters, and they don't care. Even if a kid gives up on Call of Duty after getting shit on by grown-ass adults that are just cheating. The cheaters on Battlefield 6 are automatically getting booted off the servers. And this was a big deal the last couple of days. Especially with early access, because there were cheaters, there were big cheaters on there. And they said, we don't have any room for this toxicity. We don't want this, especially if we're going to build a battle royale that's actually clean. Because they want to find a way to compete with the battle royale, with Warzone. Warzone came out with casual. For people that aren't experienced enough to play hardcore, which is great. But the aspect of it is, cheaters are getting rewarded for cheating, especially guys that are actually going out there and they're not getting IP bans. Because Call of Duty doesn't care who they ruin, as long as they get your paycheck or get your parents' paycheck. They really don't care. And that's where I look at the situation as completely wrong. GTA does the same thing, but I think they're trying to build a less toxic environment in these new games, especially in these new games. And Call of Duty's just sticking to their guns and just saying, "Hey, we're going to make our money regardless of how you play." Especially with dirty players. And it's your risk versus our reward. And I think people are finally getting sick of that, and I think that's why a lot of people are switching. Like, streamers are switching over to Battlefield, non-streamers are switching over to Battlefield, and I think that's going to be what separates Battlefield. It's going to be a less toxic environment. Yeah, you're still going to have very, very toxic players that are still going to cheat, but they're going to get kicked for cheating, unlike Call of Duty. And, I think that was what Faze Swag was actually really starting to say. It's like, but I also look at it from the perspective that is Faze going to be switching? Because from what I saw in the thumbnail, everybody from Faze is starting to was playing the beta for Battlefield 6. Which I might stay with Call of Duty just because I feel like it's going to be less players. And I can hold my own against kids. Because I can play with kids on Fortnite. Play against kids on Fortnite and shit on them. I could also shit on kids on Call of Duty, which, that's fine. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And it's like, you kind of have to be that, but if Battlefield really does go out and do 2042 as a battle royale for Battlefield 6, I'm 100% going to try it out and see what I think of it. Especially if it's a battle royale. Where battle royales are kind of free or cheap to begin with. So, I don't want to sit here and just talk shit the entire time and badmouth Call of Duty, because I like Call of Duty. I love Fortnite. Battlefield, I used to love playing Battlefield. But I'm a straight up shooter kind of guy. So at the end of the day, we got to look at it from the perspective that is Faze going to give up on Call of Duty, especially with the Atlanta Faze Esport group? I wonder. And I wonder how the esports titles are going to be for Battlefield after Battlefield 6. Because that's one thing that I really, really like to see. Where they go with Battlefield 6. Especially if they are going to do esports. So, like I said, I don't want to be too long on this video, but I wanted to give my 2 cents on this. And I do want to say thank you to the Rick for putting the emphasis on this game, on what Faze Swag said. And also, I want to give a thanks to Faze Swag for pulling a state of play for Call of Duty versus Black Ops 6. Or Battlefield 6. So, that being said, I'm Joshua Danger. This is Danger Boy Gaming. Have fun, stay positive, and enjoy the ride, baby. Peace.